you make sure you get up earlier as it gets colder, okay? All right, the following room has dimensions of 13, 10, and 12. So by definition, the standard, yeah, come on. The way to, we usually go length with height. I think that's not news to you. There are two windows and there's a door that we need to subtract because we're not painting it, okay? So let's figure out the painting first. So surface area, are we doing walls and ceiling? Only the walls are painted, not the ceiling. Okay, so this would be 2 times length times height plus 2 times width times height. That's what it comes down to. So it would be 13 times 12 plus 2, 10 times 12. Just got to be careful how you enter that. And if you do that right, you're supposed to get 552 square feet. Okay? But then on the side here, this is the walls, right? All of it. But I'm going to go surface area to be painted. And so I go 552 minus window A, and it's okay for you to just go 4 times 4, minus the other window, which is 2 times 4, minus the door, which is 2 times 8. To be honest, everybody's going to have a slightly different way of organizing your work. That's fine as long as you tell me what you're doing, okay? Use labels, use all of that. So this will be 552 minus 16.
Here's the interruptions. Sierra J, please go to room 33.
Minus 16.
Sierra J, return to room 33, please.
And so that's 512 square feet that needs to be painted, okay? So that's always task number one. It's like figure out how much will it take to do one coat, all right? So it says, what else? So we took care of all the areas, right? We got this total surface area, we subtracted what is not to be painted. There's some flooring, we're gonna hold on that, but here it is. There's a can of primer. I'm gonna highlight that. There's a primer and paint, okay? So the final color paint requires 2 coats, right, of paint and 1 coat of primer. I don't know if you've ever painted before, but you know what primer is? Primer, yeah, if you don't know, like technically if you want to repaint a room, you should first do primer, which allows it to really stick very well to the wall. So you do primer, and then you do the color of your choice, okay? A nice thing is nowadays, if you go to Home Depot, they mix primer with the paint you want. So it saves you that extra step of first having to do primer, then doing 2 coats of your color, okay? So it's just a life lesson there, but some of you probably already know how to do that. So we're gonna do primer. The cost for primer. So it requires 1 coat, and it comes in cans that cover 36,000 square inches. Who would do that, right? Who would give it in square inches? I do, okay? So usually what I do is I leave this. It really doesn't matter as long as you don't round. But I'll convert my, my surface area to square inches here. So I'll go 512 square feet. I know that 1 square foot has, oh, Mr. Erickson, I know this one, 12 inches, right? Unfortunately, you're not right, okay? You got to go 12 times 12 times 12, which is 1,000, help me out here, 728? I probably did it differently. So all you do is you grab your calculators, you go 12 to the power of 3. Yeah, 1728. And I know my key probably has it differently. That just goes to show that it doesn't matter how you do it, right? So times 512. So the room, if you were to look at the surface area to be painted in squared inches, this is what you would get. Okay? And then you have to figure out, so I do some conversion here. How many cans would you get? You take the total area to be painted. We're only doing one coat, so we don't need to multiply that by anything. We divide it by how much one can covers. Cancel that out. So I'm just going to take that, divide it by 36,000. So you need 24 point, is that right? I made a mistake, yeah? It's to the 2, right? Squared. Sorry, guys. But that's why they make erasers, okay? Because you have teachers like me that don't know their math. I'm going to be honest with you, I teach grade 12 as well. So yesterday we did a cubed one, and my mind is saying it's cubed. Okay, so it's 12 times 12, which is 144. Thank you for that. Thank you, Linda. So this goes, right? And this is going to be on YouTube to get a thumbs down, right? Thumbs down on this one. 73,728. Doesn't it feel good when your teacher, you get to tell them, hey, you made a mistake, right? So satisfying. Okay, there we go. Because I was like 24 cans, that's a lot of cans. So that's where I was like, wait a minute. So 36,000, so it's 2.048. So how many cans do you have to go and buy? All right. 3 cans. We want the total cost at the end of the day. So why don't we do that already here? Cost would be 3 times a can of primer is $22.95 as of the question, and I will add taxes right away. So go 3 times $22.95 times 1.12, and that's 77.11. Okay. So that's important to me. I'm going to come and grab that later on. So then I'm going to cut this. I'm going to section this off. I did my calculation in terms of the surface. I did some work here for the primer. I'm going to do some work here for paint. And for paint, it's 512 square feet. What does it come in? What the coverage is already stated. I'm going to just move up a little bit. The coverage for paint is already in square feet, so I don't need to convert. Okay? I don't need to convert, but I need to figure out how many coats. I need 2 coats. So do that right away. So it's 1,024 square feet that needs to be painted. Then I figure out the cans. Okay, it's 1,024 divided by 1 can covers 350. If you divide that, you get 2.92, which is also approximately, right? We need 3 cans as well. So the cost would be 3 cans times 35.95 times 1.12. So 120.79. Okay, almost there. I still need to take care of. That's why I leave a lot of space for these questions, because I want you to be able to do it. Show your work, not just cram it into one little spot. The chosen flooring, here we go. It's sold in boxes that cover 80 square feet. And the cost is 129 plus taxes. So we're going to do that now. So for flooring, the area of the floor is just length times width. And the length is 13, the width is 10. So that is 130 square feet. Okay. How many boxes do I need? I'm going to take the 130 square feet and divide it by the coverage of one box. You divide that, you're going to get 1 point something, right? 1.625. That's approximately 2 boxes that need to be purchased. So the cost would be 2 times 129, and we add taxes. $288.96. I know this is different than my key. I'm looking at it. I did the taxes at the very end. Okay, so I would have added all the amounts without adding taxes. Let me see. You can see this, right? If it's zoomed out like that, hopefully. So I did not add taxes here. So instead, I just went 3 cans times this, 3 cans times that, 2 boxes times that. I added it all up, and then I just did taxes once at the end. That's fine. Okay, it works out to the same. I'm just going to say that the total is just adding all of that up. So I will say 486.86. And because we're having a rough morning, I'm going to just make sure that that is actually what you're supposed to get if you do it my way here. Yes. Okay, good. This is the grand total. That's the one you circle. That's your final answer. I would appreciate you telling me what you're adding, just in case you get this number wrong. If I still see that you were adding the 3 numbers above, then I can still give you at least half a mark. Okay. And it matches the answer you're supposed to get at the very top. It said 486.86. Okay. All right. So we're going to do. We're going to pause here.